All right, and we are live. Good evening po sa inyong lahat mga kaguro. And of course, welcome back to Gurong Pinoy. Hello, of course, sa lahat ng members ng Team Bruner. Those are our members who will be taking their LET in March of this year under, of course, the new TOS. So again, if you are a member of Team Bruner po, nababalikan niyo po lahat ng ating previous videos. You can download all our files. At yung videos po natin sa Team Bruner, of course, dire-diretso. And yung ating pong pagiging member ng Team Bruner, of course, is dire-diretso na until the day that you take the LET. Kasama na po yung ating pre-board, yung ating final coaching discussions, and of course, our classified files. And hello din po sa members, of course, ng ating final coaching plus classified files na group, which of course is Section C of Team Bruner. Limitado lamang pong slots natin for Section C. And so kung gusto nyo pong humabol, kung gusto nyo makita yung ating final coaching, yung ating pre-board, and of course, our classified files, very important that you become a member of Team Bruner's Section C, no? So again, pero kung gusto nyo pong lahat-lahat ng discussion, all the videos, previous videos, kasama yung pre-board, final coaching, classified files, then become a member of Team Bruner Section A or B, no? So full membership naman for Team Bruner. And of course, meron din po tayong majorship. Meron po tayong major for English, for Filipino, General Science, there's MAPE, Social Science, Mathematics, and of course, you also have TLE and AFA. So if you'd want to join any of our programs, again, just send a message to our Facebook page. If you are watching us on Facebook right now, yan po yung ating Facebook page. If you are watching us naman on our YouTube channel, then please go and visit our Facebook page later. And of course, just send a message so that our admins may assist you on all your queries about our membership. All right, so again, good evening sa inyong lahat from all over the Philippines and from all over the world. From Maguindanao del Sur, Ma'am Sandra A. Datwali, good evening po. From Santa Cruz, Laguna, Life with Mother of Three na vlog, good evening po. Ganon din po sa iba't iba pang panig ng bansa. No? If you are watching us in some other parts of the country or it might be in other parts of the world, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening po sa inyong lahat. Tonight's discussion is centered on professional education. This is the last part of our Prof Ed na diagnostic test, or I mean the mid-review, no? Mid-review po pala. And then of course, after this, we are still going to continue with our Gen Ed, Prof Ed, then we are going to have your pre-board come February 13. No? So pre-board po natin would start by February 13, and after that we are going to have our final coaching. Okay? So malapit na po. Patapos na yung January, February na, no? 28 days lamang yung February natin this year. It's not a leap year. And of course, after that, you will be taking your LET na in March. No? Malapit na. So again, wag pong mag-aksaya ng panahon. Become a member of Team Bruner, maghanda ng maigi para po sa inyong upcoming licensure exam for teachers. Now again, tonight's discussion is centered on professional education. But before that, of course, let's all have our opening prayer. So samahan niyo po ako mga kaguro. Dear Lord, I come to you to ask for your guidance and direction in this study session. I ask that the Holy Spirit fill me with strength, creativity, and understanding to get through my studies without difficulty or sin. Help me hold my focus and attention. Help me to retain all that I learned. Please make my mind sharp and keep distractions at bay. If any part of my studying is weak or lacking in some way, let it be revealed so that I may correct it. Thank you for this opportunity to learn. Amen. All right. Now, once again, this is Prof. Ed. Good evening po sa inyong lahat. And of course, please do not forget to like, love, share our video. Paki-share na po ng ating video, everyone, mga kaguro. Paki-share na po ng ating video so that we may be able to reach out to more people. Then, of course, start a watch party. You can also tag your friends, tag all the LET takers in March of this year. You can also support us by sending us stars on Facebook, super chat, super stickers naman po sa ating YouTube channel. Again, paki-like, love, and share na po. Paki-share ng ating video. Okay? Please do share our video. Prof. Ed, we start with question number 1. Okay, number one, which of these processes can be used to prevent forgetting and unlearning? Is it letter A, motivation, letter B, assessment, letter C, evaluation, or letter D, drill and review? What's our choice? Number one. Okay, number one, question number one, what is our choice? Which is used to prevent forgetting? Okay, sana all nakakalimot, no? Kaway-kaway dyan sa mga hindi pa nakaka-move on, hindi pa nakakalimot, sa mga taong nanakit sa kanila. Okay, so saan daw dito yung nagpe-prevent ng forgetting and unlearning? Okay, is it letter A, motivation, letter B, assessment, letter C, evaluation, or letter D, drill and review? Okay, all of you are saying letter D, and that indeed is our tumpak na choice for question number one. Okay, so question number one, letter D is right, no, drill and review. We have to do drills, we have to do our review so that we may be able to reach mastery. Tandaan nyo po yan, ilagay po sa inyong notebook, drills, and mastery, as well as criterion reference testing. They're always together, no? Palagi po magkakasama yung tatlong terms na yan, drill, mastery, criterion reference testing. Okay, so we do drills so that we may master the different competencies, or we may master the different objectives. Kaya tayo dito, very helpful. Nakikita nyo din sa mga comments ng ating previous mga kaguro na ngayon LPTs na, very helpful po yung pagkakaroon natin ng drills, ng pagkakaroon natin ng quizzes. Okay? Because drills would help you master the different objectives that you have. And of course, letter D is tumpak for number one. Now, motivation, of course, you know the meaning of the term motivation. Now, when you say motivation, nang eengganyo. And this is also part of your lesson planning. No? So, this makes your students become ready for your activities. This makes you gather or get the attention of your students. So you try to motivate them. You try to make the lesson meaningful, no, by connecting this to the lives of your students. So dapat lang importante that we have to remember yung motivation nyo po hindi lang maganda whenever you are giving your lesson. Hindi lamang dapat maganda yung motivation, importante din that it is connected to your objectives. No, kahit gaano pa siya kaganda, kung hindi siya konektado sa inyong objectives, wag pong gagamitin yung motivation. So wag pong gagamitin yung motivation na TikTok ng mga ting 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 ting, no? Pag hindi siya connected sa inyong objectives, wag niyo pong gamitin as motivation. All right? Now, what about B and C? Yung B at C naman po, of course, very common, no, yung mga terms nating assessment and evaluation. Sometimes some people tend to confuse these two terms. But when you say punta muna natin yung kanilang commonalities. Both of them would require criteria. Both of them use measures. And of course, they are evidence-driven. No? May ebidensya dapat whenever you are doing your assessment, whenever you are doing your evaluation. But what is the difference between these two? When you say assessment, it is continuous. No? It is ongoing. Okay? So continuous yung assessment, well, evaluation has closure. No? So you evaluate. After ng evaluation nyo, kapag ikaw nga ay nagtiteach na sa isang school, after ng evaluation, nawala na lahat ng mga palamuti sa inyong classroom. Balik na naman, dating gawin na naman si ma'am, no? Wala na namang mga display, yung kanyang display board, yung kanyang board na nakapaskil dyan sa wall niya. Okay, so again, assessment is ongoing, while evaluation po has closure. Now, assessment is positive while evaluation is judgmental. Kumbaga, yung assessment mo, it tends to look at the brighter side of things. Na lahat na magaganda, yung growth ng student, yan po yung hinahanap niya. Yung evaluation naman is judgmental. Okay, so it is judging the process. Your assessment is individualized while evaluation is applied against standards. You have certain criteria, you have certain standards, and you are checking the performance against this evaluation or against these standards. Then, of course, when you have your assessment, you are going to, or you should provide feedback na dapat bigay mo yung feedback mo sa estudyante. Pero kapag may evaluation naman, you show shortfalls. No? Saan ba sila nagkulang? Saan sila nagkamali? So again, evaluation is more judgmental judgmental than assessment. But here, we are looking, of course, for number one po, letter D, no? So, drill and review. All right. Batiin ko lamang Team Piaget members natin. Ma'am Marge Oridi Liacuna. Kami sa boses mo, Ma'am Mek. Thank you so much po, Ma'am. Let passer na po ako. God bless you always. Na ganun din kay Ma'am Mary Joy Garrido. Good evening, Ma'am Mek. Nagbabalik. Former Team Piaget. One take lang, pasado agad. Thank you a lot, Coach Mek. Sulit na sulit ang membership. God bless po sa Gurong Pinoy. So, kung hindi pa po kayo member sa ating Team Bruner, Gurong Pinoy's Team Bruner, magpa-member na po kayo. Alright, but here, number one, letter D is tumpak. We move on with question number 2. Which of the following refers to the orderly steps and procedures used by the teacher to make the learning process more meaningful and interesting? Would it be letter A, plan, letter B, method, letter C, learning continuum, or letter D, device? What is our choice? Number 2. Okay, what's your choice? Question number 2. ICAs. Talaga ba? Meron din nagsasabing B. Okay. ICBs. Sa ating comment box, may iilang nagsasabing letter A. Okay, so going back to your question here, no? Orderly steps and procedures used by the teacher to make the learning process more meaningful and interesting. The correct choice here is letter B. This is your teaching method. The teaching method po ito, no? Now, we have a video on this sa ating pong YouTube channel if you still have not watched this, no? Yung pagkakaiba ng teaching approaches, teaching methods, teaching strategies, and teaching techniques. Please do watch that. Again, mag-movie marathon po sa ating YouTube channel para po siguradong pasado. Yun yung licensure exam for teachers. Now, we have this video sa ating pong YouTube channel. So, hanapin nyo lang po. Teaching approaches, methods, strategies, techniques under Gurong Pinoy. Teaching methods, Gurong Pinoy. Okay, now it is not your teaching plan or lesson plan. Remember, your lesson plan is just a blueprint, no? Blueprint lang po siya. Dapat po hindi ka nakakahon sa inyong lesson plan. Kapag ka merong emerhensya, kapag ka merong hindi magandang nangyari, kapag ka merong nawala, dapat you may be able to do adjustments. Dapat flexible ka from your lesson plan. Blueprint lang siya, but you should not be contained sa inyong lesson plan. Ang learning continuum nyo naman, ito po yung learning continuum, it is a sequence of skills that build in complexity from one level to the next. And so, when you say learning continuum, this is all the learnings, or these are all the learnings that a student should learn from pre-K, no? From daycare, from daycare until he or she graduates. Okay, so the sequence of skills, of course, that builds in complexity from one level to the next. That's your learning continuum. Learning continuum. Okay, now, of course, when you say device, tool, it is simply a material that you use. Okay, but here we are looking for teaching method. Now, let's take a look at summary lamang ng pagkakaiba ng inyong teaching approaches, methods, strategies, and techniques. All right? Okay, so this one is your teaching approach. When you say teaching approach, this is a set of principles, beliefs, or ideas about the nature of learning, which is translated into the classroom. A teacher's personal philosophy of teaching. Remember, when you say philosophy, that is a driving force. So ano yung filosofiya mo bilang isang guro? Itong slides pong ito ay galing po ito sa minention ko kanina na video natin sa YouTube channel. And so, for the in-depth discussion, panoorin niyo po yung atin pong video, no, sa teaching approach, methods, etc. So when you say teaching approach again, prinsipyo mo siya as a teacher. Are you more of a behaviorist? Are you an essentialist? Progressivist ka ba? No? Are you learner-centered, etc.? Okay, so all of those types, the different types of your teaching approaches were discussed in this video. So again, panoorin niyo po yan. Okay, now teaching method, ito yung ating hinahanap kanina, set of order orderly, logically arranged steps in teaching. It is procedural. Kaya kanina yung ating pong sagot is teaching method, no? Are you using the deductive method or the inductive method, no? Is it teacher directed, teacher centered, or learner directed teaching method? Okay, so that's the meaning of your teaching method. Next one, you have your teaching strategy. When you say teaching strategy, it is a method of approaching the task of teaching mode of operation to achieve a goal. Requires some sort of planning. Am I going to use a think, pair, share activity? Are they going to have a group task? Are they going to have individual work? No? So that's your teaching strategy. It requires some sort of planning. Ito yung nilalagay mo sa lesson plan mo. Ano yung mga magiging activities ng aking students, no, in this particular objective. Okay, that's your teaching strategy. Now, when you say teaching technique naman, sorry, this is a teacher's personal style or trick to accomplish the task of teaching. Yung mga estilo ni teacher, yung mga punishment system niya, reward system niya, nandyan na po yan sa teaching technique. Personal style or trick, okay? Tricks that can be taught to another teacher. Now, many of the things that you learn from trainings, no, from seminars, sa mga inset nyo, those are teaching techniques, okay? Teaching techniques po yan, okay? Batiin ko lang, Sir Ramsky or Ma'am Ramsky, good evening, Coach Mec. Nakakamiss po boses nyo for Team Peshay. Malaking tulong po talaga ang Gurong Pinoy, most especially ang mga explanation po ni Coach Mec. LPT na po ako. Maraming salamat po. Congratulations again, Ma'am Ramsky or Sir Ramsky, LPT na. And congratulations sa ating mga Team Piaget babies na, LPT na. So Team Brunner na next natin. Alright, so again, teaching method ang ating nahanap for number 2. We go to number 3. Developmental tasks that usually occur during specific times in a child's life. Is this newborn, letter A, letter B, milestones, letter C, parallel play, or letter D, tantrums? Okay, what's your choice? Number 3. Okay, question number 3. What is our choice? Again, to enjoy the full video and to download our materials, join Team Brunner, send a message to our Facebook page. If you are watching us on Facebook, dito po yung Facebook page natin. So just send a message on how you can become a member of Team Brunner. Okay, number 3. Developmental tasks that usually occur during specific times in a child's life, no? Dapat at this age marunong na yung anak mo ng ganito. Dapat at this age, no, marunong na yung anak mo maglakad, marunong na yung anak mong gumamit ng toilet, for example, no? Wag lamang yung mga milestones ng mga titas natin na dapat at this age ay kasado ka na, dapat at this age may anak ka na, no? Wag naman pong ganon. Okay, well, we are looking for letter B, milestones for number 3. Okay, so milestones po ito. And these are some of the most common milestones. So at 4 months, your child should be able to begin to babble and should respond to affection. Okay, so meron na siyang response. At 6 months, likes to play with others, responds to own name. At 9 months, has favorite toys, understands no, my baby is now 8 months. Okay, so dapat nakikita nyo na ito at each specific age of your child. At 1 year, your child should try to say words that you say, no, nagmimimic na sila and waves bye-bye. At 2 years, begins to run, begins to sort shapes and colors. And at 3 years old, knows name and age, climbs and runs well. Okay, so if your child is not doing such milestones, hindi pa niya kaya yung mga milestones na to, then it might be a sign na kailangan mong ipa-check yung baby, no? There might be something wrong with the baby, maaaring may delay lamang, or there might be something more serious underneath. Okay, so these are the common milestones among our babies. Okay, so letter B, milestones, yung ating hinahanap. Newborn, of course, when you say newborn, bagong sanggol, no? Bagong panganak, sanggol. When you say tantrums, ito yung nangingisa yung bata, ano, kapag ka hindi mo pinagbigyan, nagta-tantrum, naglulupasay sa sahig, okay? And your parallel play naman, letter C mo dito, when you say parallel play, this is a form of play in which children play adjacent to each other. So magkatabi sila, but they do not try to influence one another's behavior. No? So this is one stage of the different types of play sa kids. Okay? So parallel play, magkasama sila pero hindi sila nag-uusap. They do not influence each other. No? So deadma, pero magkatabi sila. That's parallel play. That's why you have the term parallel. Okay? So iba siya sa social play and cooperative play. Pag sinabi mong social play, they're already playing together. Pag sinabi mong cooperative play, may kanya-kanyang roles na sila. No? So kunwari nagbahay-bahayan, yung isa tatay, yung isa nanay, yung isa kumare, yung isa anak na. So that's already cooperative play or minsan teacher-teacheran, yung ibang estudyante, no? Cooperative play na po yan. But here, letter C, parallel play, they do not influence each other. They're just situated parallel, no? So magkasama lang sila, magkatabi lang sila. All right? But number 3, B ang ating tumpak na choice. We go to number 4, which of the following is an example of an unpredictable reinforcement schedule? Letter A, variable interval. Letter B, continuous. Letter C, fixed ratio. Or letter D, fixed interval. What's our choice? Number 4. Sir JV Zabala, good evening po, Mamek. Maraming salamat po sa Gurong Pinoy. Maraming salamat po. Isa na po akong ganap na LPT ngayon, October 2022 passer. Hashtag laban lang LPTs. Maraming salamat and congratulations, Sir JV Zabala, isa sa ating mga Team Piaget babies. Okay, number 4, I see letter A's. Variable interval. Of course, this is okay. Of course, this is pretty obvious, no? Unpredictable reinforcement schedule. Unpredictable, hindi mo na predict kung kailan mangyayari, no? And so, of course, the correct choice here is variable interval. Letter A, variable interval, yung ating hinahanap. Now, what about the rest of your choices here? Okay, excuse me lang po. Rain, please close the door, love.
I'm so gonna go. I'm gonna fill this up.
Okay, close the door then. All right, so here you have interval muna, interval and ratio. No? Let's take a look at the difference muna between interval and ratio. Pag sinabi mong interval, this is the amount of time na lumipas na oras. Okay, that's the interval. But when you say ratio, this is the number of times na ginawa nung pet mo or ng isang tao, ng estudyante, yung action na gusto mo. Okay, so that positive action that you are expecting, that positive action that you'd want the person or your pet to do, no? That's the ratio, the number of times na ginawa niya. And so if you have fixed interval, pag sinabi mo pong fixed interval, number of times or amount of time that passes is set. So kunwari, bibigyan mo siya ng reward or reinforcement every 4 hours, no? Every 3 hours, bibigyan mo siya ng reinforcement. Okay, so that's fixed interval. Pag sinabi mong variable interval, walang fixed amount of time. Okay? So yan po yung ating hinahanap, variable interval sa letter A. Yung ratio naman, pag sinabi mong fixed ratio, kapag gumawa siya ng number of times, kunwari 5 beses na siyang nag-react or nag-action ng ganito, then you give that person a reinforcement. No? So fixed yung number of times, kinakount mo yung number of times na gumawa siya nito. For variable ratio naman, just like your variable interval, unpredictable siya. No? So you don't really think about the number of times na nag-respond siya. Okay? So that would be letter A, no? For number 4, Sir Udures Nuron, congratulations po, no? Gurong Pinoy, Team Piaget, of course. October 2022 let passer. Congratulations, Sir Neuron. Okay, so here, variable interval po yung ating hinahanap. It cannot be continuous. Continuous means lagi-lagi, every time, no? So lagi-lagi. Letter C and D naman, fixed. Okay, both of them are fixed, and so hindi po siya natin hinahanap. Okay, so number 5, we move on. In blank, the material being taught is broken into a series of simple units called frames. Would this be letter A, computer assisted instruction, letter B, modeling, letter C, cognitive mapping, or letter D, latent learning? What is our choice? Okay, what's your choice? Number five, in blank. Sabi ng inyong number five, no, the material being taught is broken into a series of simpler units called frames. Okay, so kumbaga meron kang big chunk of material and you chop that big chunk into smaller units called frames. Okay, so what are we looking for here? A lot of you are saying letter C. Okay, letter C kaya ang tumpak for number five. Okay. What is your choice? The correct choice here, medyo genocide yung nangyari sa ating number 5. Hindi po letter C. We are looking for letter A, computer-aided instruction. And of course, this was by kaganapan ito, no? Or ito po ay naging produkto ni Skinner, no? BF Skinner, computer-assisted or computer-aided instruction. At ito po yung sinasabi nating frames, no? Frames. Single contents or contents of a screen. Po pwede siyang transitional, po pwede siyang instructional, po pwede din po siyang question. No? So, iisa lamang yung nasa screen nyo and that would be termed as a frame. No? Kunwari, question. May question sa screen ng inyong device, sa screen ng inyong laptop. No? Then, you'd call that a frame. Po pwedeng may instruction. That would just be one frame. Po pwede din namang may transitional lamang. Meron siyang patalastas, for example. No? So, one frame din siya. Okay, so computer-assisted instruction po yung ating hinahanap. You all know the meaning of the term modeling. When you are modeling, you are imitated by other people. Cognitive mapping naman po, this right here, nakasama siya dito sa ating discussion din ng letter D. When you say latent learning or latent learning, this was by Edward Tolman. Sabi dito sa latent learning mo, gaining knowledge passively. Kaya siya tinawag na latent, lazy, no? Sa latency. Kunwari sa latency ni Freud, no? Na stage. Gaining knowledge passively, but delaying the demonstration of knowledge or performance of behavior. So you have actually gained knowledge, pero hindi mo siya pinapakita. Pinapakita mo siya at a later time, no? Kapag kailangan mo na siya. This requires motivation and an evident reinforcement. Most common example is maze learning or finding the way home. Okay, so maze learning. Kunwari, nilagay mo yung isang rat into a maze, akala mo hindi siya nagle-learn, no? Umiikot-ikot lang siya, pero pag nilagyan mo ng food, nakikita mo na susundin niya yung maze at pupunta siya sa food, no? So that's latent learning. Passive learning, at lalabas lamang yung behavior na yon kapag meron kang reinforcement na binigay. Okay? Cognitive mapping mo, which was our choice C, this is making mental representations of physical space. So, konektado pa rin po siya kay Tolman, no, sa latent learning. Cognitive mapping is how your mice or your rats would learn the space. Okay? Kunwari yung maze, no? That's cognitive mapping. Making mental representations of physical space. Kunwari, pag pumunta ka sa isang lugar na inaalala mo saan nga ako liliko, saan nga banda yung 7-Eleven, saan nga kami magtatagpo, okay? So, making mental representations of physical space, that would be cognitive mapping. But then again, your choice was computer-assisted instruction. Batiin ko lamang, no? Kaway-kaway, sabi ni Ma'am Don Eserail. Kaway-kaway ako sa mga friends ko na todo support sa akin sa pagre-review ko ngayon sa Gurong Pinoy. LPT na sila ngayon nang dahil sa Gurong Pinoy. Ako na daw susunod, sabi nila. Medyo pressure ha, si Ma'am Don Eserail. Good evening po. All right, so again, yung ating pong choice doon is letter A. Letter A po. All right, we move on with the next item. In the lesson plan preparation, what is the meaning of the first E of the 7E format? Would it be letter A, evaluate, letter B, elicit, letter C, elaborate, or letter D, explore? What is our choice for number 6? Okay, number 6 po, ano yung ating hinahanap? Question number 6, what is your choice? All right, ICAs. Ma'am Angelica Mora Felix, ma'am, paano po gagawin para dire-diretso po yung live? Become a member of Team Brunner po. Kasi dire-diretso po yung ating video sa Team Brunner na section natin, ma'am. Sa Facebook page po at sa YouTube na puputol po siya. Okay, number 6, ICAs, evaluate. Okay, so sabi dito, in the lesson plan preparation, what is the meaning of the first E of the 7E? 7E po yung ating tag-uusapan, 7E format. The correct choice here is letter B, illicit. Okay, so illicit po yung ating hinahanap dito, letter B, no? We actually have the 5E format and the 7E format of lesson planning. No? Sa 5E nyo po, of course, obviously, malamang po yung ating steps. No? Yung una po is engage. Then you have explore, explain. Then you have elaborate. Then, of course, you end up with your evaluate. No? So, again, if you are a member of Team Brunner, nada-download nyo po yung ating file later. No? Ito pong aking presentation, nada-download po ito. Now, sa ating pong 7E format naman, imbes na 5 lamang na nandito sa gitna, no? Yung engage, explore, explain, elaborate, evaluate, meron pong before engage na elicit, at after evaluate po, merong extend. Okay? So, elicit ang ating tumpak na choice, letter B for this item. Okay? We go to question number 7. Here is a lesson objective. Given a microscope and a slide, the students must be able to focus a prepared slide. Applying Robert F. Major's principle, which does this lesson objective lack? Would it be letter A, criterion measure, letter B, condition, letter C, performance, or letter D, time element? Okay, what is our choice? Maraming typo dito, no? So, dapat here is a lesson objective. Po pwede siyang colon. Given a microscope and a slide, comma, the students must be able to focus the prepared slide. So, when you apply Robert F. Major's principle, which does this lesson objective lack? Kasi ayon kay Major, dapat may tatlong bahagi, no? Yung isang objective para makonsider siya ng magandang objective. Okay? I see letter A's at letter C's sa ating comments. Again, please do not forget to share our video, no? Paki-share po ng ating video so that we can reach out to more people. Okay, number 7, the correct choice is letter A. Criterion measure. Wala po siyang criterion measure. Walang pamantayan kung paano ba yung efficiency niya, no? Ilan ba dapat? 75% accuracy? Or ano ba yung pamantayan dito? No? There's no criteria. Okay, so letter A, criterion measure, yung ating hinahanap. So according to Major, again, your objectives should have performance, conditions, and criterion. No? Dapat may performance, may condition, and may criterion. Yung ating pong performance, ayan po yung may verb. Okay, so it has a verb, no? For example, you say student, dito no, student will understand. Understand, no? That would be your performance. Okay, so yan po yung inyong performance. Ang verb, ano yung gagawin ng estudyante? Condition, yan yung condition, no? Yan yung setting. Ano yung gagamitin nila? Meron ba silang gagamitin? Would they be using their memory or po pwede bang gumamit ng kodigo? Gagamit ba ng ruler? Gagamit ba ng calculator? Ilang oras ba kailangan, no? Kumbaga setting, no? That's a condition. And criterion, ito yung measurement, no? Kung paano mo makikita, paano mo ma-measure whether they have actually hit the objectives or not. Okay, so you have one poor example of your objective here. Student will understand the benefit of evaluation, no? Will understand the benefit of evaluation. Wala siyang kondisyon, wala siyang criterion. Okay, so dito, this the one at the bottom is a good example. Students will be able to list, that's your performance, without notes. Yan po yung kondisyon. Walang gamit ng notes, without notes, at least 3 benefits of evaluation. Okay? So that's your criteria. Dapat nakapaglista siya ng 3 benefits ng evaluation. Okay? Another poor example. Student will know how to change attire. Okay? Walang kondisyon, walang criteria, walang criterion. But your student will be able to describe, that's your performance, without using the manual. That's the condition. And the 5 steps for changing attire. All 5 steps should be there. No? That's your criteria. Yan po yung inyong criteria. Ma'am Fati, bakit blurred po? Just change the video setting po. Video quality po ng inyong video. No? Hanapin po yung setting at i-change po yung ating video quality into a higher quality. Okay? So again, yung hinahanap natin kanina was criterion. Wala siyang criteria. Given a microscope and a slide, that's your condition. The students must be able to focus na, that's your performance. Wala siyang criteria. Okay? So criterion measure yung ating hinahanap. Ma'am ating Bessie, pa-shout out daw. Okay? So hello po, sa Riyadh pala siya, no? Kefalhal Sadiq, assalamualaikum sa lahat ng ating Muslim brothers and sisters. No? Good afternoon po sa Riyadh. Okay, so number 7, letter A, yung ating hinahanap. All right, number 8, the cry of a newborn baby is called blank. Letter A, dysania or dysania. Letter B, vagitus. Letter C, tears. Or letter D, colomelia nasi. Okay, what's our choice for this item? Okay, this item, ano po yung ating hinahanap? Okay, I see B's, D's, and A's. Alin kaya yung ating hinahanap? All right, going back to number 8, the cry of a newborn baby is called dysania, vagitus, C, tears, or letter D, colomelia nasi. The correct choice here is letter B, vagitus. Okay, vagitus. Parang ang sosyal, di ba? Vagitus. Okay, so yan po yung cry ng newborn baby. Okay, so vagitus sounds like, no, the cry of a newborn baby. Saan ba nanggaling yung baby, no? So yan po yung inyong magiging hint. Now, what about the rest of your choices? C, of course, alam nyo na kung ano yung tears, pagluha, no, yung luha. Dysania and colomelanasi naman, let's take a look at their description or their definition. Dysania is the state of having a hard time waking up and getting out of bed in the morning. Okay, so waking up, if you are having a hard time waking up and getting out of bed in the morning, you can use the term dysania. Okay, halos karamihan sa atin, no, merong ganito. Kapag ka umaga, ayaw gumising. No? So, having a hard time waking up and getting out of bed in the morning, that's dysania. Colomelanasi naman, the fleshy external termination of the septum of the nose. In other words, this is the nasal septum, no? Yung kalagitnaan po yung flesh sa gitna ng inyong nostrils. That's your colomelia nasi, nasal septum. Okay, pinaganda lang. Okay, so yan po siya, yung nasa gitna ng inyong nostrils. Pakihawakan po yung inyong colomelia nasi. Okay, but we are looking for letter B, vagitus. Okay, we go to the next item. 9. Which order of senses goes with an increasing amount of learning? Letter A, sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. Letter B, taste and smell, sight, touch, hearing. Letter C, taste and smell, touch, sight, and hearing. Letter D, taste and smell, touch, hearing, and sight. Okay, what is our choice for number 9? Yung mga anak natin, tama, no? May dysania. Ang hirap gisingin. Sir Morsi Memento Gandhi, hello po. Good evening from North Cotabato. First time po manood dito, newbie. Hello po sa lahat ng ating mga newbies. Sabi ni Sir Morsi, LPTQT. Okay, sana all QT, lahat, no? Letter A for number 9. Medyo genocide na naman, no? So, order of senses. with an increasing amount of learning. So that means yung yung best, no? Pinaka na best, paano? Yung best sense dapat nasa huli because increasing amount of learning yung ating hinahanap. And so the correct choice here is letter D, taste and smell, touch, hearing, and sight. Okay? So, sight po yung pinakamataas, no? This was according to Marshall McLuhan. This was a Canadian, o Canadian siya. He presented his beliefs as follows. The relationships among the five physical senses may be ranked in order of the degree of fragmentation of perceptions received through them. Sight comes first because the eye is such a specialized organ. Then come hearing, touch, smell, and taste. Progressively less specialized senses. No? So, pinakahuli yung taste. Pinakamababa yung perception natin sa taste, no? Yung sight yung pinakamataas. By contrast with the enormous power of the eye and the distances from which it can receive a stimulus, the tongue is thought capable of distinguishing only sweet, sour, bitter, and salt, and only in direct contact with the substance providing the stimulus. Kasi kumbaga yung kanyang mentality is that, yung sabi ni McLuhan, mas mataas yung sight kasi kahit na malayo, nakikita pa rin niya, no, na nare-receive pa rin niya yung sensation. Yung taste naman, it's the least dahil kailangan mo siyang dilaan bago mo maramdaman, no? Bago mo ma-feel yung sensation, kailangan talagang nakatouch siya sa inyong tongue. Okay? So, kailangan nadidilaan, na ano ba, kinakain, sinusubo, no? Sana all, lahat ng didilaan, kinakain, sinusubo. Yan yung sabi ni McLuhan dito. So, list po yung taste, then followed by smell, touch, hearing, and sight. Yung sight po, yung pinakamataas. So, letter D for this item. Okay? Increasing po, tama. All right, we go to number 10. Below are teachers' effective classroom management practices, except one, which is letter A. Teachers make sure students follow rules and procedures. Letter B. Disruptive behavior is handled every weekend. Letter C. Teacher clearly established consequences for not following rules. Or letter D. Teachers spend more time in the beginning of the year explaining and reminding students of the rules. What is our choice for number 10? Okay, number 10, what's your choice? ICBs for question 10. All right, so again, sabi dito na number 10, all of these are effective classroom management except one. So which one is not effective? Okay, except, meron namang nagbubulag-bulagan sa atin, no? Except one po. Okay, and so the correct choice dito is letter B. Disruptive behavior is handled every weekend. Dapat po, disruptive behavior should be handled ASAP, no? As soon as possible. Dapat as it happens, you should stop it. It should be handled. Otherwise, no, sabi ng ating ripple effect, it can also influence the other students, no, na nandyan nakapalibot sa misbehaving student mo. Okay, so disruptive behavior should be handled ASAP. Okay, so letter B for number 10. Okay, we go to number 11. What is the best way to reduce the plateau in the learning curve? Letter A, provide better space and rest periods during learning. Letter B, use a variety of situations in the learning process. Letter C, use another form of motivation for learning. Letter D, introduce new materials in the learning situation. What is your choice? Okay, what's your choice? Best way to reduce the plateau in the learning curve. Okay, now you all know the meaning of plateau of learning, di ba? Yung plateau of learning, hindi na nag-absorb ng information yung mga estudyante, pagod na sila, burnt out na sila, no? They do not absorb any new info na. Okay, so what is the best way here? What is the best way? Is it letter A, provide better space and rest periods? Letter B, use a variety of situations. Letter C, use another form of motivation. Letter D, introduce new materials in the learning situation. The correct choice here is letter B. Bakit po letter B, no? Yung tama naman lahat, di ba? Tama naman lahat ito. Pero yung letter B mo, it cannot only reduce the plateau in the learning curve, it can also prevent the plateau in learning. Hindi na makakaramdam ng plateau of learning ng yung estudyante kasi iba-iba yung sitwasyon na inyong binibigay, no? Iba-iba yung ginagamit mo sa kanyang process, no? Sa kanyang learning process, okay? So sabi ng letter A mo, provide better space and rest periods. You'd only provide rest periods kapag ka na-reach na niya yung plateau of learning. Yung letter C mo naman, use another form. So that means, ayan na, pa-plateau of learning na siya. So gagamit ka na ng another form of motivation. Letter D naman, introduce new material. So kumbaga, ayan na, no, nakikita mo pa-plateau of learning na siya. So mag-i-introduce ka na ng new materials. Pero letter B po, hindi lamang siya nagre-reduce ng plateau of learning, it also prevents the plateau of learning. No? So letter B ang ating tumpak na choice. Alright? We go to number 12. An affinity group is blank. Letter A, a group of people who like each other. Letter B, a group of people who share interests and activities in a domain. Letter C, a group of people working on a specific assigned task. Or letter D, a group of people who are related to one another. Okay, what's your choice? Number 12. What is the meaning of the term affinity group? Affinity group. Okay, ICBs sa ating comment box. Okay, when you say affinity group, the correct choice over here, of course, would be letter B, a group of people who share interests and activities in a domain. So, dapat pareho kayo ng interests, no? Kunwari, mahilig kayong TikTok, magkakasama kayo, no? So, that's your affinity group. Mahilig kayong mag-Mobile Legends, that's your affinity group. Mahilig kayong magkwentuhan na yung mga Marites group, no? So, affinity group din po yung pagiging Marites. Mahilig kayong magsabo, mahilig kayong magmahjong, no? That's your affinity group. Mahilig kayong pumunta sa simbahan, mag-choir, no? Affinity group nyo din yan, okay? So, sharing of interests, that would be your affinity group. So, letter B for number 12. We go to number 13. Joe, the family dog, runs to the front door if the front doorbell rings, and to the back door if the back doorbell makes its buzzing sound. Joe has learned letter A, spontaneous recovery, letter B, extinction, letter C, generalization, or letter D, discrimination. What is our choice? Number 13. Okay, ano po yung ating hinahanap? Avengers Affinity War. Meron bang ganun? Medyo hindi ko interest yung Avengers, no? So, hindi tayo magka-affinity, sir. Okay, 13. What's your choice? So, you have a family dog, tapos kapag ka nag-ring yung front doorbell, it would run to the front door. Kapag ka nag-buzz naman yung back doorbell, he would also run to the back door, no? So, that's Joe, he. Okay, so how or what is exhibited by Joe? Okay, what is exhibited by Joe here? The correct choice, of course, is letter D, discrimination to. Alam niya kung ano yung magiging response niya, di ba? Remember, kapag ganito yung ring ng doorbell, alam niya pupunta siya sa front door. Kapag buzzing sound naman, alam niya na dapat sa back door siya, no? So, alam niya kung paano siya mag-react, ano yung magiging different responses niya to these different stimuli, okay? Ang generalization po, parehas lang, no? Parehas lang yung kanyang reaction. So pag generalization, kahit na kunwari, kahit na front doorbell or back doorbell, yung kanyang niring or yung niring ng mga tao, isa lamang yung pupuntahan niya kasi parehas lang yung kanyang response, no? So ito, discrimination po ito. Ang spontaneous recovery naman, punta natin, extinction at spontaneous recovery. When you say extinction, nawala ang inyong response. Okay, so siguro tinamad na si Joe, hindi na siya nagre-respond, no? So whenever someone would ring the doorbell, hindi na gumagalaw si Joe. Okay, kahit dati gumagalaw siya, ngayon hindi na. That's extinction. Nawala na yung response ni Joe. Spontaneous recovery naman, ayun, nabuhayan na naman si Joe, nag-respond na naman siya no, spontaneously. Walang set time, okay? So, hindi inaasahan, biglaan, nagkaroon na naman siya ng response. So, that's spontaneous recovery, okay? But we're looking for letter D for 13. Number 14. Which of these series of terms is most closely associated with B.F. Skinner? Letter A, operant conditioning. Letter or secondary reinforcer, fixed ratio schedule. Letter B, classical conditioning, unconditioned stimulus, conditioned response. Letter C, generalization, extinction, discrimination. Letter D, social learning, cognitive map, latent learning. Okay, what's your choice? 14. Very obvious, no? Yung ating number 14. Ano po yung ating choice for question 14? Okay, number 14, ICAs. Tama kaya ang letter A for number 14?